Hey everybody, so this is going to be your full body stretching video. So all too often we'll work out really hard, whether it's full body or just certain body parts, and then we don't often take enough time to stretch properly. So that can leave your muscles tight and bunchy and more susceptible to cramping. And also it can leave your tendons and ligaments feeling tight as well. So it's really important to also make sure you're getting your stretches done. So when you're holding your stretch, feel free to hold your stretch anywhere from 10 seconds to 30 seconds or however long you feel you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to show you stretches that you can do while you're standing, and then we'll use the chair for some stretches, and then we'll also go to the mat. So this is just going to show you a little bit of everything, so you can just stretch the body parts that you've worked, or if you've done a full body workout, you can also do the whole thing as well. So we're going to save your neck for last, but we can start from top to bottom. So we'll do shoulders. So let's just say you've been working your shoulders. So for the front of your shoulders, the easiest stretch too is to just grab your hands behind your back, so you can interlock your fingers if you can reach, and then you're just going to pull back while you lift your chin. So here, the more you pull back and lift up, the better, and of course, feel free to hold that as long as you want. So, and then when you're ready to come out of it, you're just going to let your fingers go. So another option for that is grabbing a broomstick or a dowel stick. So a broomstick will work just as well, but oftentimes not everybody has the full flexibility to interlock your fingers behind your back. So if that's the case, feel free to grab a broomstick behind you so you can grab a little wider apart, and from here you can just pull back. So pull back on that as you're trying to reach back and lift that bar as you look up. So that will also stretch your shoulders as well, and then you can let that go. Okay, so that was for the front of your shoulders. Then if you just want to focus on the side of your shoulders, then you can do single side pulling to the side. So in that case, you might want to grab the base of your hand behind your back. So you're going to grab the base of your right hand, and without leaning your body, you're going to pull to the left. So grabbing the base, pulling to the left. And then of course, other side. Okay, so if you lean, then you're taking the stretch away. So you just want to resist leaning as you're pulling on your arm. So then there's the sides, and then if you want to do the rear shoulder here, you want to stretch it by bringing your arm up straight across your body, and you can pull that across. You're going to feel the stretch along your shoulder there. Of course, other side. Okay, and you can always do some arm circles forward and back, and roll your shoulders back. Okay. So chest, for chest, another nice one to do is if you have a wall or a doorway, doorways are good. You can place your hand on that doorway, and I'll show you. So sometimes people neglect to stretch their chest properly after a chest workout. So what you're going to do to stretch your chest is you want to place your hand on that doorway shoulder height or higher, a little bit higher, and as you're pressing your palm against that doorway, you're going to start to feel a little tension in your chest there, and from here you're actually going to turn your body away from that, and you can turn your head as well. Okay, and then you're going to turn back towards the wall, release your hand, and then of course we'll do the other side. Okay, so hand is shoulder height or higher, and you're going to place that palm on the wall, feeling the tension in your chest already, and then you're going to turn away. Okay, and then turning towards the wall again to release your hand. So now you should feel your chest is nicely opened up. Okay, so for biceps, oftentimes people neglect to stretch their biceps. So starting again in that same position where you're pressing against the wall or doorway, but this time, instead of having your flat hand against there, you're gonna turn so it's the side of your finger pressing on the wall. So you should already feel a little tension there in your bicep this time. So we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna turn your body away and look away if it feels comfortable for your neck. And here you should be feeling your bicep stretching. Okay, and then turn back towards the wall. Release your hand, and again, other side. Other side, you're gonna be placing your hand shoulder height or higher. Finger is against the wall this time instead of your palm, and turn away. And then turn back towards it to release. So there's chest and biceps done, and now we can do triceps. The most simple tricep stretch is to lift your arm and take your elbow and gently pull it back and towards your head, allowing the back of your arm or your tricep to stretch. And the other side. Okay, and then release that as well. So if you don't have the mobility to bring your arms up, you can also place your elbows on the counter edge and lean back. So you'll also feel a little bit of a stretch there as well. So now for back. Okay, so now doing a little bit of your upper back, your lats there. Stretching your upper back or your lats. Unless you have a pillar or a post at home that you can grab onto, the doorway works really nicely. So you're gonna stand in the doorway and you're gonna grab the door frame, and then you can just simply drop down and stretch your back. So you're grabbing on. Okay, and then you can come up out of that. So there's back done, and then another nice back opener. So a nice simple one is to simply bring your arms up, interlock your hands together, turn your palms to the ceiling, and reaching up, and if you can, look up and also lean back just a little bit. Okay, and then you can bring your arms down, roll your shoulders back. You're gonna reach up, grab the base of your right hand, and you're gonna pull it to the left. And then coming up, and now you're gonna grab the base of your left hand and pull it to the right. And coming back up, and you can just bring your arms down, roll your shoulders back again. Okay, so that covers your upper body. So we're gonna go ahead and stretch out legs. So for those of you who have a hard time with mobility, a chair is very useful. Okay, so for basic quad stretch, you can grab your foot, pointing your knee to the floor. So it's not about getting your heel to your bum, it's actually about pointing your knee down to the floor and pushing your hip forward. And you can let that go. So I know not everybody can do that stretch depending on the mobility in your knee, so that's why a chair can come in really handy. You can hold on to something and bring your foot up on the chair, and from here, then you can press your knee down and your hip forward. So you're getting the same lengthening in the quad, you're just not getting that deep knee bend, which some of you have a hard time with. Okay, and then we'll do the other leg. So if you can, grab your foot, and again, it's not about getting your heel to your bum, it's just about pointing that knee down and pushing your hip forward. So you're gonna get that nice quad stretch. Okay, and then other leg, chair. So here, again, knee points down, and you're gonna feel the front of your leg stretch there. And then you can let that go. So now we're also gonna get hamstrings. So the back of your legs. So for the back of your legs or your hamstrings, you might wanna start off more simply. If you can bend over and reach your toes, great. But if you wanna start gradual, you can just grab onto the back of your chair, and you can keep your back straight and just drop your chest down. And of course, you're gonna feel that stretch in the back of your legs there. And to do it without the chair, you're just gonna simply come down as far as you can to reach for your toes. So if you can reach all the way, great, and if not, that's okay too. Just reach as far as you can. Or you can open your legs a little wider if that helps, and you can just reach down. So I like to do one leg at a time, cross my right over my left, and just bend over until I feel that stretch in my left leg or back leg, and then come up, and then I'm gonna switch legs, so left over right, and then bend over until I feel my right leg stretching. Okay, and then coming back up. So that gets the back of your legs. Okay. And another nice way to stretch your hamstrings is to place your leg up on something. So from here, what you can do is just keep that leg nice and straight and just slowly lean forward. So you're gonna feel that stretch underneath the leg there. So just leaning forward as far as you feel comfortable. And then of course, just hold it there and just do your breathing, okay? And then switching legs. So whenever you do one side, of course, you're gonna do the other, and you're gonna lean forward so you feel the bottom of your leg there stretching. And then coming back up. We're gonna get a little bit of the inner thighs done, so you can take a big step to the side, and you're gonna bend that leg, and you're just gonna gently lower yourself so you feel that stretch in the left leg there. And then you can come up to center and then switch sides. So no bouncing your stretches here. It's better to just ease into them gradually. Okay. And then from here you can just step out of it. Your chair can come in handy for stretching your hip flexors as well. So I will show you some on the mat, but again, sometimes stretches on the mat are harder, so the chair is just kind of a nice way to modify those stretches. So that's one area on me that gets really tight, is my hip flexors. So I just have to make sure to take extra time to stretch those. So I'll show you some on the mat as well, but to get a nice hip flexor stretch going that's a little bit easier, you can start with your chair as well. So you can place your foot up on a chair or something nice and high. So it's the straight leg that's going to be feeling the stretch, and you're also going to be getting a little inner thigh there too. So here you're going to make sure you bend that knee of the leg that's on the chair, and you're keeping the standing leg straight. So from here you're just leaning in, you're bending the knee and just allowing yourself to lean in towards that leg, and here you're going to feel your hip flexor stretching. You can pull your shoulders back a little bit. And then you can push back and bring that leg down. So now we're going to stretch your left hip flexor. So right foot comes up on the seat of the chair, and again from here, knee is bent and you're just bending as you lean in. So you're coming down as far as you can, feeling comfortable of course on that left hip flexor. Okay, and then you can just push back and come out of that. I'm going to stretch calves, so you could use your wall. I'm just going to show you with the chair from the side. So using your wall or chair, you can take the ball of your foot up against the wall and keep your heel on the floor. So now you're going to just keep that leg straight and bring it towards the wall, and you should be feeling your calf stretch there. Okay. And the other leg, so ball of your foot up against that wall, keep your legs straight and lean forward. And then you can come out of that. Okay, so now we'll do some stretches on the mat. So this is another stretch for your hip flexors. For those of you who have a hard time kneeling on your knees, you may want to avoid this one. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. You're going to stretch your hip flexors. So I'll start on the left. So we're going to have the left leg back and the right leg forward. So you're just going to step down into a reverse lunge. So you can also have like a chair or something beside you for balance. And now you just want to make sure that your right knee is not going to reach past your toes when you lean forward. So you can place your foot forward a little bit more, and then you're just going to lean forward. So just shift your whole body forward, and you should feel your left hip just open right up. So for some of you, that might be enough of a stretch right there, and you can hold it as long as you like. If you want a little more stretch to that, you can just back up, come out of that a little bit, bring your arms up, and now sinking forward, and you're gonna lean back. So you'll really feel the left hip open. Okay, and then coming out of that, another way you can open it a little differently is keep your right hand on your right thigh, and you're gonna bring that left hand up as you sink forward, and now you're just gonna lean towards the right thigh. So you're really feeling the left side open. So from the side, it would look like this. So from the side, you're in that lunge position, making sure your foot's far enough in front of you that your knee won't reach over your toes. And the first part of that was you're just gonna sink forward, just really opening up that hip. And then of course the arms up looks like this. So arms up, leaning back. And then you can come out of that. So the extra little opener is right hand on your right thigh, shifting forward, left hand comes up, and lean to the side, over your right thigh. Okay, and then you can come out of that. You can also stretch your hamstring here by just shifting back, keeping that leg straight and just feeling it stretch there. So turning to the front. Okay, so switching sides, now we're just gonna make sure that your left foot is forward enough so that your knee won't come past your toes when you're leaning forward. So you're shifting forward and feeling your right hip flexor stretch. Coming out of that, arms come up and sinking down, looking up. And this is where you can bend back a little if it feels okay on your back. Okay, and then so your hand comes down on the thigh, shifting forward and leaning over. Okay, and then from the side. So here you are, making sure you have something to hold on to if you need to. So just making sure your knee is not going to come over your toes, so just making sure your foot's far enough out in front of you, and arms came up, and lean. Okay. And then you can place your hand down, and now you can lean over. Okay. And again, straight leg, leaning back, so shifting yourself backwards, you can feel that stretch in the back of the leg. So now that you've done those, you can also do a quad stretch on the mat as well. So you can lay on your side. So this one is just like the standing quad stretch, except you're laying down, and since you're on the mat, it just might be nice to do again. So you're laying on your side, you can prop up on your elbow if you like, or you can lay your arm down. So you can pull your foot back and grab your ankle with your hand. If you can't reach, you can use a yoga strap or a band or a towel. And here, you're just gonna relax and pull back. Okay, and then of course the other side. So same thing on the other side. We're just gonna reach that foot back, grab your ankle, and you're gonna push your hip forward as you pull your ankle towards you. So you should be feeling that stretch in there. Okay, and then you can release that. So there's a few other stretches you can do to open up your body here. You can lay right down onto your belly. And you can stretch your upper body a little bit. You can just place your hands under your shoulders and bring your toes under. And you can push yourself up and back into down dog. And then you can come back up into a plank, and you can lower, release your toes, and now lift your upper body. And back down. So from place your hands under your shoulders and come up onto your hands and knees. So here you can have your knees hip width and your hands under your shoulders. You can arch your back up nice and high. And then you can sway your belly. And then from here you can open your knees a little bit and just sink back towards your heels as you bring your arms out in front of you. And here, if you want, you can bring your hands around to your feet, forehead to your knees. And then you can also, from here, a nice stretch is pigeon stretch or your hurdler stretch. You can pull one knee forward, cross that leg out of your way, and just reaching out. So that's gonna get all in here. And then you can switch sides. And then roll onto your back. So from your back, you can do inner outer thighs. And so you're just gonna roll back and you can cross one leg over the other. And then you can reach through your legs and grab the uncrossed leg. And then you're just gonna relax your head to the mat as you pull towards you. And you can switch legs, so crossing the other leg over, you're gonna pull that leg towards you. So from here, you can come up to sitting. You can place the soles of your feet together. So relaxing your knees to the floor. So you can kind of walk your sit bones towards your heels, relaxing your knees out to the sides. Okay, and then you can straighten your legs and you're just gonna reach for your toes. And then you're gonna take one leg out to the side, pull the other leg in towards you, and we're just gonna do a nice wide stretch to the side. And now you're gonna turn that stretch over your leg. So you're reaching over your leg and coming up to sitting. And then we're just gonna switch sides. So other leg comes out, the other leg tucks in. And then reaching over. And then turn over your leg. Okay, and then you can bring that leg in, just sit comfortably. So you've done your whole body except for your neck. So neck can be last if you like. So to stretch your neck, you're just gonna look up. And then down. And then back to center, and we'll just go ear to shoulder. The other side. Okay, and then we'll go half circles to the front, slow and careful. Okay, and then half circles to the back, slow and careful. And then if you like, you can stand up. So and if your calves still feel tight while you're here, you can bring the ball of your foot up against the wall and keep your leg straight, bring it forward. And then the other leg. Okay. And we'll do some ankle circles. So it's always good to loosen up those ankles. So some outward rotations. And then we'll go inwards. And then we'll do the other ankle outwards. and inwards. I always like to finish off with a nice good arm circle, so arm circles forward, arm circles backwards. Nice and high, reaching up. And then arms come down, shoulders roll back, and core is tight. Okay, so there's full body stretch from top to bottom.